What's up, guys? This is Lucky. I got some deathmatch on Kingston for you guys. It's a pretty decent deathmatch, although it's not without a couple of really derpy moves on my part. And feel free to laugh your butts off at my moronic mistakes. But anyway, I just not playing that much anymore, and that's kind of why I'm here. So I'm gonna do this two-part series. I had done a video a while back about 8 positive changes for Assassin's Creed multiplayer that came in Black Flag, and it's time to kind of flip that on the lid. So it's time for constructive criticism, and you know, fair warning, that's what this is gonna be. I'm gonna be constructive, and I'm gonna try to avoid the unfair rage and hatred, you know, towards developers, but I am going to like cut to the chase a little bit. So, you know, it's no mystery that I love AC. Anybody who knows me knows that I love AC multiplayer. I'm hugely passionate about the game. It has such amazing potential. I've been playing AC single player since it's my very first game ever on PS3 that I bought. I got it in 2007. I've played all the ACs, and when Brotherhood came out multiplayer, I did not have a broadband, so I did not play multiplayer at that time, but I followed the community and stuff, because I was already on the boards anyway, and I watched YouTubes and stuff. And so when Revelations launched, I got broadband at home. I began playing, and I mean, I took to it and I loved it. And you know, I like to think I was not too shabby. There weren't many people, I think, that I ran into that actually could beat me in deathmatch. Definitely couldn't do it consistently. And then when AC3 came around, you know, in those first few weeks or so, I made my legendary status playing nothing but deathmatch single player when everybody was playing it. So I'm not too shabby. I understand the game. I'm certainly not the best player. I'm not a totally pro competitive player, but you know, I think I have a firm grasp of the game. So that said, it's time for some honest discussion about the game. And this honest discussion is going to revolve around the game is suffering. The game is suffering, and this is going to be a two-part video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the community and the case, why I believe that it's suffering, and what accessibility is. And then in the second video, I'm going to play against a good friend of mine, Zorboid, and that is a really good match. And I'm going to talk about how this strategy has damaged or destroyed multiplayer. Holy cow. I can't believe I got away with that bodyguard. I'm not even sure why I used bodyguard. Oh yes, hidden. Oh, really? Holy, okay, anyway. But, where was I? Yes, player community, and I kind of feel like, I don't just feel like, the player community, it's dying. It's not dead by any stretch of the imagination, but it's certainly withering away. It is definitely nowhere near what it was back in the Brotherhood days. Let's start with, why? Let's start with the forums. For those of you who were around on the Ubisoft forums back at the end of Brotherhood and earlier Revelations, it was full of life. I mean, it weren't just clan leaders. All the clan members actually posted on the forums as well. There was constantly, and we will call them passionate discussions about mechanics and strategies and how it should work and different approaches and styles to the game. People were sharing ideas and new techniques and ways to do things. It was full of people who were up and coming, who were basically making their YouTube stardom, quote unquote stardom. Basically, they were getting started there, but even they were still participating all the time on the forums. And you compared to what it was then, where it was so active and full of life, today it is just this, I mean, a few diehards remain, but it is a shadow of its former glory. That's all I'm saying. It's not pretty over there these days, and most of the discussion is around what cool costume people can get, and the occasional rage from somebody. And I understand some people left because one day they got into an argument with the troll and they decided they were never coming back again. But let's be honest, a lot of people left because they're just not playing the game anymore. So that is sign one. Sign two, let's look at the YouTube community. Even though the forums were starting to fall out of favor and Revelations in AC3, the YouTube community was still really strong going into AC3. Really, really strong. You had quite a few pretty good-sized channels that were racking in thousands and thousands of views. Rainin, Gia, Esco was still putting out videos. Angie was putting out plenty of videos. There's a lot of really good quality videos out there. And there still are people putting out videos, but, you know, the bigger YouTubers, as far as the AC community goes, they're putting out videos all the time. But was it today? I mean, Rainin hasn't even posted a video in like an AC video in like 2 months or something crazy like that. I mean, they're not posting AC videos anymore. And that is a telltale sign. You have this huge group of very competitive people, very dedicated, very passionate fans for a multiplayer franchise. They work extremely hard and put in a lot of time and energy and effort into building up a channel around a particular game. And for someone to just completely abandon that game and not be posting videos anymore, that is a telltale sign in and of itself. That says everything right there to me. And yeah, they didn't put up videos that say AC multiplayer sucks, I'm never playing again. Most of them are too classy for that. And I know some people are still putting some up, you know, but anybody who's been around long enough to knows it's not like it used to be. And you have big channels that have basically abandoned AC. And they're not saying why, but it's because the game is suffering. And game is suffering, community is suffering because the game is suffering. And then 3, AC3 gave us the best stats of all. When AC3 launched, they would reset the Abstergo scores, and you had a total, basically, you are ranked 2 million blah 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 out of 2 million blah 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 players. Well, I just so happened to, after a reset, the reset that they did around January or maybe it was early February last year, while still plenty of people should have been playing the game, I happened to not play it for like 2 weeks. I came after the scores. The scores have been reset for 2 full weeks. I played 1 full game and took a look basically at what my rank was. I played 1 full game and I left. I only had like a score like 100 basically. So pretty much anybody who had played at all scored higher than me. I came in, saw my next ranking. My ranking was like 12,000 out of 2 million something. What that tells me is that 2 million something players stopped playing. That's what that tells me. That is a massive, that's like a 99.9% abandonment rate. It is huge, huge. Tons of people left after AC3. The player base is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I mean, people talk about lag. Do you know why lag seems worse on AC4 than it did perhaps on AC3? The community, the player base is smaller, so you have less choices for its matchmaking to match you up with people. I mean, to its credit, one, we have the split of generations. We have Xbox One now, we have PS4, you have players, you have this player base which split apart. The player base was getting smaller anyway. So then you compounded a next gen split of your player bases across both consoles, and you know, now Xbox players are experiencing what basically PSN players were experiencing in AC3. Grouping was a nightmare. The net code in AC3 and AC4 is the exact same. I freaking guarantee it. But the problem is this smaller player base, and so when they try to group you guys and match you up, yeah, lag just is worse because it can't find a better match for you. So that pretty much wraps up. The player base is suffering. The AC community is suffering, and that is the case right there. And it is suffering because the game is suffering. In my next video, I'm going to talk about basically why the game is suffering. And it is suffering because of this strategy of accessibility. Now, accessibility in and of itself is not a bad thing. Accessibility means more players, and I'll go in and I will talk about exactly what accessibility means. And it is a good thing, but Ubisoft Annecy's approach has been accessibility at the price of competitive gameplay. And they are sacrificing competitive gameplay for accessibility, and the end result has been utterly damaging. And my next video will go into that. Thank you guys for staying tuned. I know I went a little bit over, but this is really important topic, and so I got a really good one. We're gonna get down to business in the next one. We're gonna talk specifically about the specific changes. That video I will post in just a few days. Thank you guys for checking me out. This is Lucky. Peace.